You may have heard that the top 4 immigration judges in the country were terminated during Trump's first week in office. And so now we have a new chief judge for EOIR, who is the chief judge at a national level, and that is Chief Hunsucker. And so I've pulled some data on Judge Hunsucker. Judge Hunsucker was last on the bench as an immigration judge in 2019. And during the last 5 years that he was on the bench, he had an 89% denial rate in terms of asylum applications and an 11% grant rate. And if we narrow that even further, from 2017 to 2019, during his last 2 years, he was an immigration judge only in Cleveland. He granted only 4% of asylum cases in front of him in Cleveland. And so what we garner here is that this was a hand-picked selection for chief immigration judge. This is somebody who is very conservative and does not have high, is not very sympathetic to asylum cases. Judge Hunsucker was an appellate immigration judge prior to this. So this is just further politicization of courts here. What immigration judges influence that really, could have an effect are the policies and procedures of how immigration courts are handled at a national level. And so specifically, one of the things that could really have an effect is he sets internal guidelines for evaluating asylum seekers' credibility. And so if he is not a sympathetic asylum judge, then he's going to make it very difficult for asylum judges to find their witnesses credible. He also mandates training on legal standards, on trauma-informed adjudication, or best practices. He might do away with some of that trauma-informed adjudication. He also is in charge of remote hearings and procedural safeguards. He's in charge of ensuring unrepresented respondents receive proper advisals. And so these are all things that are going to have an effect if they are not priorities for him. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, Judge Hunsucker, Chief Hunsucker, is now the new chief immigration judge. He's a very conservative judge. And so we'll see that trickle down effect throughout the next 4 years. And it'll be interesting to see the challenges as attorneys that we'll have to face in representing asylum seekers in these courts.